So, very good evening from the UK. It's Raj from Woman Agenda Podcast. We have a very special guest, Apricity, Ontario's Apricity, here with us today. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you doing? You're a little bit into the night already, whereas here it's afternoon. So glad we can set the time up in the
Yeah,
different time zones. So
it
thanks.
is. It's nice though that we've been able to bring you on, and obviously I've seen some of the stuff you've done. It's very exciting, and I saw one of the music videos, and we'll talk about that as well. And it's really good. I like the way it was done, the music video as well. It's just the way everything. It's like a whole story. Um, but it's really good on that. But yeah, so what would your music be classed as? Is it rock? Is it classed as rock, your music? Or
Well, there's been a few different classifications of it, but honestly, I classify my music as something everyone can listen to. But if you want to put it into a genre, I've been said it's alternative rock or rock pop.
rock pop?
I think, honestly, it probably suits a wide variety of people and ages. So if you like a little bit of pop, we have it in there. If you like a little bit of punk, we have it in there. And then, we've got a little bit of rock, mostly stemming from, a lot of 90s influence as well.
Yeah, because when obviously I searched and obviously Googled to see, obviously see what kind of stuff you did. I noticed an article from, I think, Toronto. There was an article about you, and obviously on there it said Ontario, and then it said rock, and and he said on the article, so I thought I would ask you on that. So I can see on the website, which is very detailed, and we will mention that about your website because it is very it's a nice description, and it tells everyone about your stuff. And obviously, I'm presuming this is your official website, yes? Is that right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Apricitymusic.com, and on there, so it's very interesting how you migrated to Canada at an early age. And tell us a little bit about that. How did that happen?
Well, I don't think I had a lot of choice. Most of my family is still in Scotland, and but obviously we immigrated. Part of my family immigrated for employment, of course,
Sure.
opportunities. But I did go back to the UK, Scotland, and go to school. My cousins were there, my family was there, my friends were there. So I was back and forth a lot between Canada and the UK, finishing school, and I'm very thankful to be in Canada. Obviously, we have a lot of family still back home that we keep in touch with, and we see as much as we possibly can. And I can tell you that just being in Canada has been a completely different experience from growing up in the UK. But it's nice to be able to have two different countries where I feel at home.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's a bit similar to myself, where m- some of my family they came from India, and obviously I'm born in the UK, so it's a bit like you feel when you go to India, you feel like home when you go there, and you just
Right.
yeah. So there's the kind of a belonging in another country as well, which you can call home, your second home or something on that. But yeah, so you immigrated to Canada, and when did you think, okay, I'm gonna get into music?
Well, when I was growing up in the UK at a young age, 2, 3 years old, I was put into kid shows, STV, High Summer Extra. There used to be a show on TV. Fun Factory. It was filmed in Manchester.
Yes.
I was on that a few times actually. And then I did appearances like in Edinburgh, London, Manchester. So I was in a lot of charity shows and kids shows, and was involved in a young age. Went to Corona Stage School, which was in London, um, and had always been, had grown up in a family where everyone was musically inclined, and so it was something that I had adapted at an early age, and I enjoyed it. And then, just going through school and then teenage years, I still had, a love of it. But once you're in school and you're studying for exams, and it becomes a little bit different. And then when you get into the working world, it's definitely completely different than having the free time to, go out there and get involved in theater and other things I was doing when I was younger. But it wasn't until, to be honest, a couple years ago when I went in and started recording some demos. And then the year prior to COVID, I decided, hey, I'm going to take these demos and re-record them and just you know, see how it goes, see if I can get my feet wet again, and if it's something that I want to get involved in, which I did. And that was the December just before COVID started. And then by March, I was lucky enough to get joined up with a great producer here in Toronto, along with an engineer and a fabulous songwriter who used to be in Canada and now lives in the US. And it just sort of all stemmed together at a time that other things were falling apart, to be honest with you. And this is all coming together for me, and it's just been going on since then. So we started working together. I have a great team that I've been able to work with, and honestly, that's been because of COVID. That was actually a plus side, when everything else just seemed so dim and grim.
Yeah, and I read on your website that you also auditioned for that very classical show, which
Top of the
I
Pops.
grew up top of the pops, top
So,
of the pops as well. So how did that happen? How did you feel like, okay, I need to audition for a top of the pops? So is it something you ever watched when you were growing up as well?
I did watch it as a kid, but to be honest, when they took me
Hmm.
to the audition, I was young, and I went to the
Okay.
audition, and at the same time, we Coronation Street was being filmed right around the corner, so we went on to the Coronation Street set, and then I went to the audition at Top of the Pops, and I was told I was too young, so
How?
they wouldn't actually let me
Okay.
audition.
Okay.
Yeah, so. But on the other side, I when I was there, they had Debbie Harry was there. Debbie Harry was there, and I actually have a little autograph book that she signed. So I have
Wow.
that in my book. So at the time, you're 12 and you're like Debbie Harry. And, I remember she sang songs, but my grandparents listened to her and my mom, but didn't really mean anything when you're that young until now. I'm like, hey, I, happened to meet Debbie Harry, and you know, I wish I had appreciated it at the time, but you're a kid, so you see things differently.
Yeah, and you have mentioned on the website being inspired by Debbie Harry. You have mentioned her name, uh, Debbie Harry, and you mentioned a few other acts which you have been inspired by as well. So yeah, and obviously when you search for Debbie Harry, you can see that her portfolio work is so big. Because if you search for on YouTube or you type her in, um, there's so much stuff. You can tell that how successful she's been.
She's very iconic, especially in the
Right? Yeah,
female world.
yeah,
My family
absolutely.
listened to her, so I, as a small child and growing up, it was Blondie, or Kate Bush was a big artist that my family used to listen to as well. So as you get older and then go back into listening to, older music, you start to appreciate the songs, and even going back and watching some of the videos that Kate Bush did. Just such a fairy tale storytelling type of artist. So definitely, those artists from back in those days, you can see nowadays we have like Alanis, we have Avril. To me,
Yeah,
those are very, very strong female artists, and they definitely have imprinted on me growing up, that's for sure. And I think they've done a wonderful job breaking through into the music world, and they've really set a stone for female artists.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Avril Lavigne. I've listened to her music myself, and because I'm someone, and I think maybe you're someone as well who listen to doesn't like is not binded by one particular genre. So I'm someone who doesn't believe in one genre. Like, um, I'll listen to anything which is good, apart from maybe heavy metal, maybe not, because once I listened to heavy metal, that went out of my head. So maybe not, but I do respect them to the bands and everyone. But maybe that's just not my cup of tea. But other than that, I'll listen to any type of music because if I like it, I'll listen to it. So whether it's rock and roll, whether it's Bon Jovi and rock and roll, or if it's a Shakira, or like you said, I've listened to her. Lavigne, and so yeah. I mean, there's why be binded by any genre of music? You know, I guess you just
And
want
that's
to,
for sure.
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing though. I don't think my songs really are stuck in one genre. I think, there's a little, like I said at the beginning, there's a crossover. There's some rock, there's some pop. There's, my latest release, Alice in Wonderland. It's got a little bit of pop punk in there. So they have a little bit of different sound in each song. And I think that just definitely perhaps is great for a wider audience. And I don't want to be stuck in one genre. I just want to be able to do songs that I relate to, and I appreciate, and I can make a story out of.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the way to go. So when did you start your first single? How long ago has that been now?
So All My Lies, we just finished that in 2021. So it hasn't actually been that long. It's
Right.
just been over 2 years. So
Okay. Wow.
I just released my fourth single and fourth video. I am very much to the mindset where I would like to do a song and a video because I really believe in the visual of a song. I believe that if people can see the visual, they may enjoy the song more just watching the story. And that's
Mm.
something that, it does take a little longer because obviously you're putting together a video, you're putting together a story, and it does take a little longer than just working on the song, which itself can also take some time, but putting those two together are very important for me for a release.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, I guess, and obviously, like you said, when people see the video itself, they can. I think a lot of people do prefer seeing the video as well. The music video, and then seeing how the music video is, and then if they like the music video, they like the track, then they com- they become fans, don't they? Really, of that particular artist. They get that kind of a connection with the artist on there. But yeah, that's absolutely great. Yeah, I did. At least I've seen one of your music videos now. I don't know which one it was now, but it was one which it was very very interesting. The video itself, and I'm trying to recall the single, but it was yeah. Maybe it was the fear. Maybe the fear. Um, It could be the fear. Yeah, I think it could
The
be that.
zombies.
The zombies. Yes, that's the
Yeah, that
one.
was the fear. Yeah.
That's the, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the one I watched a couple of weeks ago. When we started to talk and stuff, and then obviously when I typed your name in, and then it came up the fear, and I watched the video and stuff, and I thought, yeah, this is very interesting. I like the concept. I loved it. I love the concept of it. It was totally different to what I was expecting, but that's what I liked about it because it was. It's not like okay, I've seen this before. It's exactly the same as another 100, videos. So the concept I think was good, but obviously the music was good, and then obviously the concept was really good as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, we filmed that during COVID as well. So during filming, I mean, we had to be outside and we had to be X amount of feet apart, except when we were filming. We also were only allowed so many people on the site. So there was a lot of rules that we had to follow to be able to get that done. And it took a few months because they had closed everything down again where we couldn't film, so we had done part of it, and then at the end we finished the rest. We also filmed it in December where it was very cold. So it was I think one of the evenings there during that fight scene, it was -20 and everyone was outside with short sleeves on, so we were taking breaks with big blankets. It was pretty cold.
And doing these music videos, I've seen how, I mean, it looks like okay, it's just 5 minutes, but really, it probably takes hours to do this, doesn't it? To shoot it again and again.
15
Um,
hours, 15
wow.
hours. And, I always wondered, you watch a movie and a movie is 2 hours long or just over 2 hours.
Yeah,
And you hear them, it takes them months and maybe a year to
it
film
does.
a 2 hour movie. And you wonder why. Well, it's every little part, every little tiny part. It could be a couple of seconds, it could be a minute. And you do so many takes for those. And then, of course, the editing team have to go through it and make sure which clip matches which, but there's a lot of work behind it, so you really begin to appreciate what goes into this, the amount of people, the not just the actual filming, but then after the filming, the amount of time and editing that will go into it from the team behind it. And I'm very appreciative of Dropout Entertainment, who have done all my videos. Jesse Reed is a director and the face behind that, and they spend so many hours, just going clip by clip by clip, just
Yeah.
to perfect everything, and make sure it also matches certain parts of the song, right? So it does make sense and it does make a story, and people can relate to it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, absolutely. Because that's what I was thinking. I thought it does take it does take a lot of time to do the music videos, but obviously a lot of artists do prefer that. And yeah, a film we think is about 2 hours, but then there are some, and that's why I really appreciate it because even though it's about 2 hours and you think okay, it's just a 2 hour film, it go like in a music video, it goes a lot into making a film, months and months on there, and then you have some people who like to multitask and like Will Smith or Jennifer Lopez who do movies and then they do music and both together and like one's hard enough and you
You
know
got that right.
what I mean, and they do both industries and it's like I don't know how the guys do it, but I guess they've got used to doing it and maybe over the years on there. So who writes this music? Is it yourself who writes the music itself?
I've been very lucky to work with some songwriters. So for The Fear and Alice in Wonderland, I've been working with a writer by the name of Greg Cretchley. He is Canadian. He's from Canada, but he's now based in the U.S. And he's worked with some great artists like American Idol. He's worked with Disney. He's sent out songs for Miley Cyrus. So he's just an absolute gem to be able to work with. I've worked through some songs with him, for example, I've gone through perhaps what he may have written already, and I've adapted it to myself. So I've changed lyrics, or I've changed the way it was sung, or I've changed a little bit of the melody. Um, but he's definitely been a great bass behind me, and such a talented individual. So lucky to have him.
Yeah, and you mentioned about your producer Thomas on the website. He kept pushing you and stuff in a nice way on there. But I guess like you said, you mentioned this as well on the website. I guess that's made you even get to that level,
And definitely, so Tom McKay from Exeter Studios, he himself was in Joy Drop.
right?
He toured the UK when he was in the band, and now he's a Juno and Platinum awarded producer. He's just
Wow.
an awesome human being, and he is there to, to help you grow and make you better. And he does push you, but it's obviously, we have to do our own work as well. And I like to say I'm a work in progress. I mean, you never stop learning. There's always things I learn, not just from Tom or other producers, but other artists that I watch, other local artists or larger bands, or, artists on TV. You're always learning something, right? So I think we
Yeah.
need to be open, and that's the only way we get better, right? So I want to be, continue to grow and continue to be able to, be a big part of the music industry here, and bring out something that people enjoy and can relate to.
Yeah, definitely, and we can definitely see that in your music. It is totally different. It's something which you've created your own type of music on there in a short space of time, like you said, 2021. So we're what, about 2 years now,
Yes,
um, about 2 years and stuff, and you've already released four singles,
yes.
four
Yep. Four,
singles.
four singles and four videos. It's been a lot of work, but I've enjoyed every
That's a lot of
minute
work.
of it.
Yeah. Definitely. And what kind of feedback are you getting back now and from everyone, your family?
I think, obviously my family is my my biggest supporter through everything. And my family in the UK, I've been doing live performances, so started doing live performances really just late last year, going into this year. We have a few larger shows coming up as well, and we are looking at coming to the UK, doing a UK tour and Germany. So that's something that I have on the forefront that I'm putting together, and quite looking forward to it. And just the feedback from people overall, I think they're really enjoying the videos. That's, like I said, I feel that the visual part of it really can draw people in. And that's how I see it. And that's how I see music as well. Definitely had some people come out to shows that have followed me on social media, so it's really nice to see that people are enjoying it, and it's become part of their playlist. I enjoy that. Without fans, I mean, we need fans. Obviously, we need fans, and it's very important for us to have fans. It keeps the music industry going here, and I'm very
Absolutely.
grateful for it. Right, so.
So what is the music scene in Canada and especially the kind of type of music you're doing?
I think it's very similar, probably the same as in the UK. Very similar here. There's a mix. Western Canada is a little bit different. They have a large country influence,
Right.
but it's definitely it's the same as in what you would find in the UK. You've got your alternative rock, your pop rock, or your pop. It's a good mix. There's a good mix of music here. Great mix of, obviously, local artists, and obviously we have artists from Canada that have gone on and done worldwide tours, and have gone elsewhere. But there's a lot of talented individuals here, definitely in the local scene itself.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like you said, yeah, definitely. And one of your music videos, which has been mentioned, was filmed in like an haunted place.
That would be All My Lies.
All my
So
life.
my first music video I made was actually local, Milton, Ontario, and it is a heritage house that was built in the 1800s that the family donated, and they have it in a heritage community here in Milton where you can go and tour. They do private tours, and the house itself was listed on Canada's Most Haunted. Um, so they have had people go in and do a reading of the house, and
Right.
it's said to have 14 different ghosts or you know feelings there, and I can tell you when we were filming it because we started filming at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. It was the hottest day in Canada that August, and this is a house. There's no electricity, there's no air conditioning, there's no
Wow.
power. Everything we had was battery operated. So we're 40 plus degrees right until like 3:30 a.m. in the morning. So I can say there was some strange things going on there for sure. There's definitely a strange vibe in that house.
And you guys weren't a little bit even hesitant of shooting down there?
No, I actually was. It was just like the history behind the actual home was amazing to me. But
Right.
there's a few things that sent chills up our spine for sure. I wouldn't want to be there by myself at night. That's for sure. Put it that
Yeah,
way.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Likewise, I don't think I would want to go there myself, just by myself.
But it's a beautiful
Um,
home, beautiful, beautiful home. So.
yeah. So who uses the home now? Is it like you said it was donated? So who?
Yeah, so it's at Milton Heritage Park, and it's a heritage park that have it's a park. So all of the buildings there have been donated.
Right.
They all have they all come from like the 1800s,
Wow.
1700s, and they've been donated with history behind them. So they made it into like a park. It's a pioneer village, and they do host events. They do host private tours, so you can go in inside the homes and look at the homes, and
Right.
it's local to me, so it was a really nice finding when I was trying to find a spot to shoot the video. That was what I was looking for, and to have something
Right.
local was just amazing, and they were an amazing group of people to work with.
And so when is your when can people look forward to your next single? When is it due to come out?
Well, I just released my Alice in Wonderland single June 2nd.
Okay.
So
Wow. Just now
that
then.
was
Right.
yeah, that was just
Great.
released just a couple weeks ago. I do have songs that I'm working on in the studio. And I'm also starting to put together another treatment for a video that we'll be working on. So probably I'll have something else late in the fall, but right now, just having released Alice in Wonderland, which took a long time for us to get that video filmed as well, just because we started filming that during COVID. It's been great to finally get that out and into the public, and the whole story behind that, of course, Alice in Wonderland. It's a little twist on the actual Alice in Wonderland movie.
And will everyone be able to listen to this on your official website, Apricity Music? Um,
So everything is on streaming platforms. So you've got Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, Apple Music. So you can definitely find me on any of those. And links will be updated on my home site as well as my Linktree site. But you can find me on all streaming platforms.
yeah, absolutely. And regarding the social media aspect of it, so is that like is it all yourself? Do you like promote it yourself?
I do it all myself. I do everything. social media wise myself. So I keep everything updated myself at this point anyway. We'll see. It's something I enjoy doing. I It's a lot of work. There's constant updates and obviously just posting and keeping in touch with everybody as well. But I manage everything myself.
Yeah, I think I did see. I think I did see something. You had posted something yesterday. I think it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And what about touring? Any plans to tour at the moment?
So we have shows going on here in Canada at home. We have quite a few going on this year into the fall, and like I was saying, just looking at to putting together some dates in the UK as well as Germany. So that will be coming soon, and looking forward to it. So you'll have to come out to a show.
Yeah, I mean, if that can, if I can make that happen, definitely, I would love to come. Absolutely. And so is it going to be any plans to be touring the UK, if possible?
Oh yes, yep. So that's what we're talking about right now, just dates for the UK. Looking at those and some other bands that I'm working with that are UK based, that we will be joining.
Excellent, excellent, and I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering about that. So definitely, so anyone who's watching this afterwards as well. So obviously, Ontario is looking to be touring the UK, hopefully very soon. On there, so you can purchase a single, like she said, on iTunes, Spotify, and all the good places. Definitely, and you're available on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, all the good stuff.
Snapchat,
Snapchat as well.
TikTok,
Yeah,
TikTok as well,
TikTok.
Instagram, and I have a YouTube site. So where I have all my videos, and I also have some live performances on there as well.
Yeah, and we can see a few of the links are available on the website. We can see the Instagram and Facebook stuff is available on there, and I'm sure this is going to be. Uh, re- I'm sure the single is going to do really well for you. And on the do you like do you like monitor every time your single's out, or
I
how?
do. I do
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's important to me how it does, and it's a huge deal to launch. After all the work that goes into this, not just the
yeah,
music side of it, but the video side of it for everyone involved. I mean, everyone puts a lot of time and work into that. So definitely monitor it. I know just after releasing the video, there's already over 12,000 hits on the YouTube video itself in a short amount of time. So that's just amazing, that people have been, watching it, and that makes us happy. That's what we put the work out there for. But I definitely monitor it and continue to push it forward and hoping that it can reach everybody and we can get some extra followers and fans.
yeah. And I'm sure you will get lots of followers and on social media and that kind of places. So if you do want to get in touch with Ontario, and I'm sure a lot of people will want to, she is available, like she said, on all social media on there, and a lot of the links are available on her official website, which we have been displaying on here, and we will display it there. So yeah, absolutely, that's very exciting. And have you like planned any album release at the moment? Is anything in the works for an album?
Uh, well, I have a few more songs to add to the album, and then hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have an EP release. That's what we're planning on.
Oh, fantastic! Excellent. That's absolutely that's absolutely great. And I'm sure a lot of people are eager and looking forward to that, Ontario. Yeah, definitely. Lots of exciting stuff there on there. I liked I think it was on the music video where the woman is like pulling her hand up, I think trying to grab you or something.
Oh, the
Uh,
Zombie Bride.
there's some,
The zombie bride.
Yeah, I know it's that's really good. It's really good the way it's shown the zombie and pulling up. Yeah, absolutely. So that's definite. So you said you work. So the some of the music, where these the zombies, where who's getting out these ideas? Is it yourself?
It's myself. So I always come up with an idea, a vision behind the song. Whenever I hear a song I'm working on, I always have a visual of what I feel if it was a movie, what would it look like? So then I go and I'll have a discussion with Jesse Reed from Dropout about my vision and how I feel about it in the story, and he and I will work on it and put something together.
So do check it out, guys. Ontario's music is available, iTunes, Spotify, all the good places on there. And obviously, at the moment, due to everything is online digitally. So is it just like it's not worthwhile doing anything physical, any physical copies? Is it not worthwhile anymore?
Some people do physical copies, and I will do a physical copy. I think it's nice to have, and I do think that they're coming back. I know that everything is digital now, but there are people that do physical copies, and I do think that's something that would be great to have, because you can hold it in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, vinyl's come back, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Vinyl's come back.
it is coming back for sure. Yeah, it
It's
is.
come back. It's come back it's coming back in a big way. You can buy the vinyls in a lot of music places and online, and um, a lot of artists are selling their albums on vinyl again.
Right.
Um, so yeah, definitely, yeah, absolutely. Uh, that would be nice to do, and and it's been a pleasure to obviously have bring you on here.
Well, thank
Uh,
you.
and it's been nice to get you on. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but yeah, it has been great to have you on. We will include the descriptions on the video. If you're watching afterwards, the description will be there. We'll put the links on there. And if you want to listen to it audio version and you're in a rush, we'll be able to listen to the audio version as well on the womanagendapodcast.com website and everywhere else as well on Apple podcasts everywhere you'll be able to listen to it as well on there. Ontario, thank you very much for coming
You're welcome.
on there, and I'm sure you are really busy with your music um, on there now 24/7.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, so on there, and obviously wishing you lots of success in your upcoming music, and I'm sure
Thank
it's
you.
gonna and I'm sure it's gonna do really really well. Thank you very much, Ontario, there, and hopefully we will later on we will chat maybe after your albums come out. We will chat again, I'm sure.
That sounds great. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. You too. Thank you very much. Thank
Okay.
you. Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for
Thanks a
having
lot.
me. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.